Isa po ang India sa mga bansang nakakaranas ngayon ng matinding surge ng COVID-19 infections. Nakakapagrehistro sila na higit 300,000 bagong kaso sa loob lamang po ng isang araw. At sa ngayon po ay nagkakaroon din ng mass cremations dahil sa dami ng pumanaw sa sakit. Sa gitna ng krisis na ito, kumusta kaya ang kalagayan ng ating mga kababayan doon? Makikibalita po tayo kay Philippine Ambassador to India Ramon Bagatsing Jr. Good morning po, Ambassador.
Good morning, Yusek Rocky, at magandang umaga sa ating mga kababayan.
Opo. Ambassador, ay tanong din ng ating kasama sa media na si Lanet Anti ng GMA News Online. Kumusta po daw ang kalagayan ng mga kababayan natin ngayon sa India? Nakikita namin kasi sa balita ang kalunos-lunos pong sitwasyon ngayon dyan.
Well, Rocky, we only have about 2,000 Filipinos here, no? And 80% of them are housewives. So about less than 70 are OFWs, but these OFWs are in the managerial level, and a few seafarers. And unfortunately, this last 48 hours, nakakuha kami ng balita na dalawa sa ating mga OFW, as I said, these are managerial level people that have passed away. So it's really bad here. But aside from this unfortunate circumstance, more or less karamihan naman sa kanila ay ayos at nagtutulungan naman ng mga Pilipino dito. Yun lang nasawi tayo nawalan tayo ng dalawa, and we're doing everything we can to help out with the remains and to help bring it there. But by and large, under the circumstances na napakahirap, maklase itong pandemic na ito, napakalungkot, okay naman at nagtutulungan ng ating mga kababayan dito.
Opo, Ambassador, so ano po ang ginagawa daw ng ating embahada para maprotektahan at suportahan po yung ating mga Pilipinong naninirahan dyan at nagtatrabaho na rin po?
Well, we're in constant communication with the PhilCom leaders here, no? Because India is big, it's scattered all over India. We have so many big cities here, Calcutta, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. Karamihan ng mga Pilipino nandiyan sa mga malaking centers na yan. And we are in constant communication with them. Dito sa Delhi, we have given them the numbers of all the hospitals if in case there is an emergency. Although talaga nakakahirapan dito, talaga puno-puno ang mga ospital at mga ibang mga pasyente nga nasa labas na. And then we have lines na kung kinakailangan nila ng mga oxygen tanks, gamot. We have a support group helping each other out. That's the first line of support sa ating mga Filipino community dito. And tulungan, basically, bayanihan effort. Yun lang as I said, malungkot na meron tayong dalawa na nawala. Otherwise, everything is okay.
Opo, Ambassador, bukod po sa tayo po nalulungkot sa pagpanaw ng dalawang Pilipino dyan, ano po, pero meron pa po ba kayong bilang o datos ng Pilipino na ngayon po ay tinamaan ng COVID?
Yes, we have the data on that. So far naman, may mga ilan. I would say about 20 na tinamaan na nakarehistro sa atin dito sa embassy, and regular naman ang communication namin sa kanila at kung anong tulong ang kinakailangan nila. Dahil lockdown din dito ngayon, hindi rin makakalabas. So yung mga basic necessities na pangangailangan, pati mga gamot, we are working out that we can supply them all these basic requirements. No? Kaya maingat din kami dahil lockdown dito, hindi naman pwedeng basta-basta lumabas. At napaka-virulent, napakalakas, nakakahawa itong tinatawag na double mutant strain. Kaya ingat na ingat din kaming umikot. At hanggat maaari, puro karamihan sinasabi namin sa kanila, mag-online purchases at order na lang. And we just find a way to provide them the funds. So we are in constant communication with them, and we do whatever we can under the circumstances to provide support and assistance.
Opo, Ambassador, itong 20 po na ito, kumusta po ang kanilang sitwasyon? Sila po ba ay nagpapagaling? Paano po? Kumusta po sila?
Well, lahat sila confined, no? Isolated. And after the test, it turns out to be positive. They're isolated, and then we communicate through social media or cell phones, and then they just tell us what they need, and then we find a way to bring it to their doorsteps, no? Dahil dapat walang walang face to face hangga't maaari. So ang sistema dito, iiwan lang sa labas ng pintuan yung mga pangangailangan, mga gamot, etc. And that's what usually is happening right now. This is in Delhi. In other parts of India, so far, wala naman problema. Itong dalawang nawala ang nasawi, napakabilis eh. 23 lang na balitaan namin, 26 wala na. No? So it's really very, very fast. And parang traidor talaga itong virus na ito. And not only with us, but other embassies and other ang buong India ay naghihirap dahil sa pangyayari nito.
Opo, Ambassador, kasi meron din po kasi report na pinag-aaralan din po ng Pilipinas kung magkakaroon po ba ng travel ban papunta dyan sa India. Sinasabi naman po na wala naman po tayong direct flight. Ano po ang komento nyo dito?
Well, yeah, totoo yan. Wala naman direct flight since about 9 years ago. And even if we don't have announced a travel ban, all flights that dadaanan na papunta Pilipinas, dadaan ng Middle East yan. Eh sa ngayon, ang flights to the Middle East, pinagbabawal ang Indian passengers or passengers coming from India. So hindi rin makakaalis ang mga kababayan natin or even other people to go to the Philippines dahil banned nga sila bumiyahe via UAE. So, if in case itutuloy yan, we leave it up to the wisdom of our scientists and our health officials there in Manila if they would have a temporary ban. Because other countries have already announced the temporary ban of Indians going to their country. So, if in case that happens, I leave it up to the experts in Manila to do so. But we just give our reports to Manila that this is very, very serious here. We cannot underestimate this virus, no? And definitely, if other countries are stopping the travel of Indians to their countries, that is something that our government should seriously consider also.
Opo. May pahabol lang pong tanong si Joseph Moro, ang kaugnay po dun sa na-report nyo na dalawa po nating kababayan na nasawi. Ang tanong po niya ay kailan daw po nasawi itong dalawa at yung mga pamilya po ba nila ay na-inform na? Papaano po ba? Uuwi po ba dito yung labi nila?
Well, nalaman namin ito kahapon lang. They passed away 26, no? So that's yesterday morning. We found out only early yesterday morning about this incident. The employers reported it to us. We have provided the information required, the documents required for proper arrangements with the funeral parlor. And the family, I presume, have been notified already because they are in communication with the employers. Now, as to the handling of the remains, that is something that we have to figure out because, as I said, no flights coming from India. All flights via Middle East are suspended right now. So that is something that we have to work on. Ang importante muna is ayusin natin ang mga labi kung nasawi na ito based on the instructions of the families. And then we will see how we can make arrangements with the airlines for their transport back to the Philippines. So it's really very difficult. No? These are unusual times. And there's a lot of pause or stop to movements here in India and movements in and out of India. So that's another challenge that we have to face.
Ambassador, kumusta naman po ang ating embahada dyan? Paano po ang operasyon ninyo?
Well, we had to close it since last week pa. We had to close the embassy. Primarily because there's a lockdown. The local government here, the New Delhi government ordered a lockdown. So there's no movement. And because of the surge, tawag ni Prime Minister Modi, this sudden storm surge happening here. 25,000 cases a day dito sa Delhi, about 400 or 500 deaths. As you said, 1 million cases in the last 3 days, 350,000 a day, and about almost 200,000 deaths all over India. So because of that order of lockdown, we had to close the embassy since last week, and my order is to that we remain closed until May 17. So pasensya na lang muna yung ating mga kababayan at mga Indiano na nangangailangan ng visa, etc., that we have to remain closed for their safety and for the safety of our people here also. Besides, they can't travel because of all the travel bans.
Opo. Paumanin, Ambassador, may tanong lang po si Joseph. Ito pong dalawang Pilipino na nasawi ay dahil po sa COVID.
Yes. Yes. Sorry if I didn't say that. Yes. COVID, definitely, it was the case of the death was COVID.
Opo. Ambassador, kumusta naman po yung vaccination program ng gobyerno ng India? Isinasama rin po ba nila ang ating mga migrant Filipino sa pwedeng mabakunahan gaya po ng ginagawa sa ibang bansa?
Yes, nag-umpisa sila magpabakuna ng libre sa government hospitals at pag private hospitals, may bayad ng konti lang. This is government subsidized. So they rolled out Covaxin, yan ang brand ng bakuna, Covaxin at saka Covishield, which is AstraZeneca, as early as the last week of March. Tinuna nila yung mga 45 years old pataas. And then starting May 1, they will open it up to everybody over 18 years old. So far, nakakabakuna na sila ng about 155 million, no? And this is open. So pati ang mga diplomats, non-Indians, they can take the vaccine. So yung mga kababayan natin, mga Pilipino dito na gusto magpabakuna, pwede. So they are encouraged to go to the nearest vaccination centers, either hospitals, private clinics, or if they can go to their employers, or kung malalaki yung kanilang may mga complex dito, mga residential complex, pinupuntahan yan. So open po ito at marami sa ating mga kababayan ang nagpapakuna na.
Opo. Kami rin ay nag-aalala sa sitwasyon nyo, Ambassador. Pasensya na itatanong ko, kayo po ba ay nagpabakuna na rin?
Yes. Fortunately, I was able to have a vaccine noong April 2, no? And but because of alam mo, ano ito parang perfect storm ito. Because napakainit dito ngayon, and then of course they say that India is one of the most polluted cities, and the COVID hits the respiratory system. So it's a combination of factors that really aggravates the situation if in case you have COVID. And considering further that dahil ang tawag nga nila dito double mutant strain. Sa ibang bansa sinasabi may UK strain, may South Africa strain, etc. Here in India, what they're saying is because of this surge, because of this the virulence of the vaccine of the virus, and how contagious it is, and how it easily transmits from one person to another. This double mutant strain is really very dangerous, and they're always saying, don't underestimate it. Even if you're asymptomatic, take the necessary medicines, take the medical kit. So we really have to be very careful, and that's why we encourage everybody, and the government encourages everybody here to take the vaccine.
Opo. Ambassador, tanong lang po ni Celerina Monte ng Manila Shimbun, ano daw po ang specific work ng dalawang namatay nating Pilipino?
Well, excuse me, no? One is both are in the managerial level. They're not seafarers. They're not on a manual labor type of work. They are managerial levels, no. But I do not want to divulge too much information out of respect to the families. So I can just say that they're on the managerial level work.
Ambassador, ano na daw po ang estado ng ating COVID-19 vaccine deal sa Ulat Biotech at kailan po expected na dumating sa Pilipinas yung una pong batch ng doses mula sa kumpanyang ito?
I was informed that as we speak right now, they're having their town hall meeting, no? Because there was an order. This is, first of all, a tripartite arrangement. Ibig sabihin yan is between the supplier and manufacturer of the Ulat Biotech manufacturer, the Covaxin brand, and the local government units that have ordered and the private sector undergo negosyo of Joey Concepcion. So the national government really has no participation here. But most important for the national government is to give the approval. IATF should give the approval for the export of these vaccines to the Philippines. I was informed further that the order is for 8 million doses, as I said, to be distributed between the LGUs and the private sector. And they have also informed me that hopefully the delivery will be by last week of May. Papasalamat tayo sa FDA na, as you said earlier, that it was one of the 6 that was given the EUA, so they can distribute it. But I think another hurdle that they have to face is the approval from the DOF on the pricing scheme. Alam mo, this was ordered before pa all these problems we have now in India, no? So napakamurang nakuha yan. And then with these cases here, nag-alala ang India, baka kulangin sila because they were one of the first countries that donated vaccines all over the world. I think they donated about 50 million plus. And because of that, in order ng Indian government to double the production of Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute. So kung dati ang Bharat nag-manufacture ng 12 million, ngayon 10 million na a month. Ang Serum Institute up to 17 million a month. So yung 8 million na darating dyan, hopefully by the end of the month, committed na yan. Sa ngayon, because of the demand, pinayagan na ng India pumasok ang Sputnik, and they have given a price suggestion sa mga vaccines. No? Like for example, ang Bharat can only sell from $15 to $20 for export per dose. And I think the distributors there was able to buy it at a very cheaper than $15. So it is affordable, it is adequate and available. So I hope that we get through all the regulatory approvals so that it can be rolled out, it can be shipped, and it can be there by the end of the month. Yung ano naman, yung sa Serum Institute, pumunta dito si Galvez last month, no, March 9 to 12. And he talked with Serum Institute of India. This is one of the largest manufacturers of vaccine throughout the world. And they were able to arrange the sale of about 30 million doses of Novavax. This Novavax is a company based in the US. They gave the manufacturing rights to Serum Institute, and I think the brand will be called Covavax. So if everything goes well, 30 million yan that the Philippine government is buying, and hopefully by September this year, dadating yan. So that's 30 million and possibly a few other millions for the private sector. So in summary, we will have 8 million by the end of next month, yan ang vaccine, private sector, LGU supported, and then by September we will have Covavax, that's the brand, Covavax, that was purchased by the national government with Serum Institute of India. And after that, we can order some more if there is a need for it.
Okay. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong panahon, Philippine Ambassador to India, Ramon Bagatsing. Ingat po kayo, Ambassador.
Salamat, Rocky. And of course, personally, I'd like to extend my condolences and prayers to the demise of my friend Wency Andanar. So please extend my condolences to Secretary Andanar. And kung kayo mag-adala, si President Duterte po ay nakahanda ng sumulat kay Prime Minister Modi, nakikiisa, a letter of support and solidarity with the government of India and the people of India on what is happening here. And we are doing our best really to make sure that every Filipino that has a problem will be assisted by your Philippine Embassy at the best that we can. Ang order sa amin ni Secretary Locsin is 24/7 ang aming trabaho. Although lockdown dito at saka saradong embassy, we have to provide the service to our kababayan here. So maraming salamat, Rocky, sa pagkakataon ito at mag-ingat po din kayo dyan.
Maraming salamat po, Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr.